Men are pretty awesome, actually. Don't know what this is about. Pragmata is proving them all wrong about men. Who is them? And what are we wrong about men about? I wrote a blog post a while back. I hate video.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
What's the male fantasy? What is the male fantasy? It's, you know what? I think I'm going to do something a little different today.
Ta-da!
Is this supposed to be when we first boarded the tram?
Uh-huh.
Whose kid is this? This is a video game. Diana, I drew it.
I drew it.
Cool.
It's for you.
I got all that shit on the fridge. The male fantasy.
So there I was, minding my own business, when suddenly this clip comes across my
Where'd the lady go?
social media feeds.
Okay.
Diana?
Diana!
And the caveman part of my brain just lit up. The first feeling
The caveman part?
was the obvious "aw" moment, but then I was hit by this more powerful masculine feeling. One that makes you feel almost militant and like you would go to war with anybody who dares to threaten this precious child. And to be fair, women do have a similar feeling.
We've only had our
Doesn't everybody have that feeling to protect the innocent? Whether it's an animal, like what's being shown now, child, even like a weaker person, or like somebody disabled, obviously still weaker a person, I guess.
for a day and a half. But if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
You had people
Appropriate response. What's wrong with that?
swearing to burn Capcom down to the ground if anything happened to this character. And I had no
Oh, to this character. Oh, well, I mean,
idea that this game was even a thing. It apparently had been developing for a very long time. It got delayed once or twice, and suddenly it was
not delayed as much as GTA 6.
available. The game is called Pragmata, and the story revolves around a man
Pragmata,
named
that's how you
Q,
say
a
it.
system auditor, sent to the moon with a team to figure out why a lunar base suddenly went quiet. The Doom
Why is there a little girl on the moon?
scenario alone already got me. A moonquake happens, and the base's AI, Edis, uses the robots under its control to kill the rest of his team, leaving him alone and injured. He's soon rescued by an android who looks like a 6-year-old girl named...
Oh, so she's not actually a little girl.
I am DI03367, a state-of-the-art pragmatic...
Hang on a second.
Hang on a second. You're moving a little fast
who
there.
he names...
How about we call you Diana?
And the two set off to solve the mystery around the fall of the lunar base and get back to Earth. And I'm over here like day one purchase. But immediately,
Day one purchase.
and I mean immediately, people wanted to ruin it. I think it's important to point
People want to ruin everything if you let them. If you don't give them the attention they're seeking, they can't ruin it.
out right here that the negativity around the game did not come first. Gamers expressed joy around the naming scene, automatically swearing to protect Diana at all costs.
Get your f***ing hands off my daughter, bitch!
Speed. Oh man, he's something else. His daughter. So I guess people are getting protective over her. Okay.
Kill you!
And that is when the accusations started. Something about gamers feeling joy causes physical pain to these people. The most ridiculous accusation
Whose
was that
people?
the
What
only
people?
reason men wanted to play this game was that it scratched some kind of nefarious itch. And this includes
Are we? Is it because they get to be protectors? Like they get to feel needed or wanted?
being a PDF file. So basically, if you're a man and you want to play this game, you are the worst kind of person imaginable. My immediate thought was, wow, what a fatherless take. Like,
Agreed.
why is that the first place your head goes when you see this?
Diana!
And if you
She seems excited she got a real name.
go back and you read a lot of the negative comments that went viral, they weren't necessarily about the game itself. They were actually directed more towards men in general.
Because people love to hate men.
Specifically men and their relation to children. The overarching message seemed to be that men and children have no business associating with each other.
Oh, man. So men aren't supposed to have anything to do with raising a child or protecting a child. Like, they're out there about to get hurt, and you're supposed to be like, I can't help you. I'm a man.
In any capacity. Nothing good can come from it. Any man's interest in a child can be nothing but sinister.
Sinister?
Pragmata is a game that allows horrible men to live.
For starters, it's just a game. Second off, why, if this was real life, why is it a problem to protect a person or even this robot thing? I don't understand y'all's problem. Are men supposed to not be protectors?
About the fantasy of protecting a small girl at great personal risk. Absolute villainy. And they sold 1 million copies, so that's a lot of bad men. Now, a lot of the people throwing this accusation around actually referenced a real event where the...
Hold on, I want to read this. Pragmata subreddit banned for continuous lewd content of childlike android Diana. Why would they do that? Fucking pedophiles? Earlier today, Reddit banned that our subreddit for violating private sharing sexual, abusive, or suggestive content involving minors. Run with lewd artwork of the childlike android, which became the main focus of the community until February 18th when it was shut down. I mean, yeah, shut it down if they're doing nasty stuff like that. If they're actually doing that.
Pragmata subreddit was closed down because Redditors were posting stuff that would make you want to gas up the wood chipper. Let me be very clear about something. You should never define a situation based on Reddit's take. Okay, Reddit and real life are two separate dimensions. Now, I want to pause here for a second because I think one of the bigger...
Reddit is like 98.9% left-minded, left-brained, whatever, left-wing, liberal-minded individuals, from what I can tell.
Your finger wags that were being directed at not just men, but everyone, was that you shouldn't be feeling anything for Diana at all because she is ultimately a robot. Yes.
Ultimately, these games, or anything in real life, you feel because of the chemical reactions that happen in your brain. And when you play a game like this, your brain is convinced for like microseconds at a time while you're playing these games that this is real. I'll give you, for instance, playing Grand Theft Auto. I still get this weird like butterflies in my stomach every time I jump a car off a mountain. You're like, oh, we're falling. It's a weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Your brain convinces you that it's a real thing going on. This is science, folks. You who love to preach science but then don't want to hear about the science. It's a chemical reaction that happens in your brain. Same thing when you watch somebody go hiking or you watch somebody go camping. I watched this guy named Steve. He does the same thing that I do whenever I'm working on the road. He sleeps in a car or whatever, out in the middle of nowhere. Some people watch that because that's something they want to do, and it actually fulfills something in their brain that they want to do, but they can't or don't find themselves doing. So it releases like endorphins that make your brain satisfied because it makes you feel like it almost makes you feel like it's the same as doing it yourself almost. Like it's the next best thing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So your brain like produces these hormones and endorphins that make you feel good about watching somebody else do what you want to do. Same thing with a video game. This is where I'm headed with it. These games are designed to make you feel something. That's how anything works. We work off of emotion. Even the news makes money on emotion. It's negative emotion, but they make money on it. That's literally what it's designed for, is to get your emotions stirred up, create these chemical reactions in your brain that make you feel something. So what's wrong with feeling something? Are we supposed to be androids ourselves?
She's an android. No, it doesn't matter. Have you ever heard of the breakfast question? It describes a hypothetical scenario where prisoners with varying IQs asked a simple question. What if you had not had breakfast today? In this hypothetical story, higher IQ prisoners gave responses like, well, I'd probably be hungry, or maybe my mood would be worse, or I'd feel tired.
Or I'd just have to wait to see if we're going to get lunch. Maybe they were out of breakfast today, or, maybe have to wait till breakfast tomorrow. I mean, it is what it is.
Lower IQ prisoners couldn't wrap their heads around this scenario and would typically respond with, but I did have breakfast. Right, but imagine if you hadn't had breakfast.
This was supposed to be a imagine, so from the very start. Now their brain is tricked into thinking, but did I have breakfast? I did have breakfast. That's
Sandwiches. Gruel omelets. Nothing but gruel.
But this same principle could be applied to people talking about Diana. But it's a robot. Yes, but the character has all the necessary qualities in order for you to make an emotional connection to it as a parent would a child.
This is the same people that probably fell in love with their Chat GPT version like 3 or something. Like people were in relationships with their Chat GPT.
But it's a robot. I don't know why this character was wearing a fedora. People playing the game know Diana is a robot, but a well-executed depiction of something allows you to get past things like material identity. It's why you can relate in a very human way to dogs, sponges, or toasters. You don't need the thing to be human to have an affecting feeling elicited from it. So, the people who cannot get past the fact that Diana is an android and can't make an emotional connection with her because of that fact, fail the breakfast question.
Yeah, they do.
This chair is
100%.
just way more comfortable. Not sponsored, but I'd like to be. The more that I looked into this backlash, the more...
Are those chairs comfortable? I have a GT Racing. The seat is not comfortable at all. This chair is the furthest from comfortable. So if y'all are thinking about getting a chair and comfort is not a problem for you, then get one of these. If comfort is a problem for you, don't get one of these. They're not that comfortable.
Or it appeared to me that there was some sort of reverse failure of the breakfast question. They see the vast majority of men enjoying this game for reasons purer than the driven snow.
And let me guess, they had to make it as not pure as piss and snow.
But they can only imagine negative reasons why they would like this game. And I'll give you some examples. One,
that's because probably they themselves probably had like issues growing up. They probably think that, oh, because this happened to me, that all men must be like this. They've never been shown better, so they grew up hating men, probably.
accusation is that men who play this are pathetically living out a fantasy of having a family that they'll never get. And so,
what about the men that have a family and played it? Is that a thing? I don't play this game. I never heard of it, but Is that a thing?
They should focus on real things, which was Hassan Piker's take.
If you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things that you actually
experience. 100% this guy plays a space game somewhere else, like some other space game. Or this guy plays like the most unrealistic games ever. I don't know who this guy is. I'm going to have to look him up. But Hassan Piker, Hassan, whatever. 100% he probably plays a game with the most unrealistic shit.
enjoy, right? If you're a lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you?
Okay, as if anything else in the game was realistic. It's literally a space game. How realistic is it going to be for you to like have turbo astronaut suits or whatever with rocket power propulsion through? That's still all like make believe whatever, like fiction.
You care about having children or like riding for having children?
Says the communist LARPer who's never lived in a communist state nor lived.
The communist LARPer that's never lived in a communist state.
He's like a communist. I hope he never changes. This game isn't just being.
Okay, I guess I don't need to look up this Hassan guy. He probably just said all I need to know about it right there.
Played and celebrated by lonely incels. I'm a married man with a son.
And now I want a daughter, honey.
And I love the game. But even if these are single men playing the game, wanting to have a daughter who plays and draws cute little pictures and looks up to you is not a bad goal to have.
Why would it be? That doesn't make any sense.
Shaming someone for wanting a household filled with the warmth and joy children bring is like shaming someone for wanting some water when they're thirsty. It's like shaming a bird for wanting to fly. Like shaming Hassan for wanting to shock a dog. It just comes naturally. But I think that...
Does Hassan like have this fetish of shocking dogs or something? What's up with that?
What got my WTF face a-going the most was this line from The Gamer. In the article titled
Gaming Content... Oh, dyslexia. Y'all, it's an issue. Gaming cannot allow Pragmata's Diana fan club to flourish. Diana has a fan club? Okay. Reddit is far from the only place you'll see people sexualizing Diana. Steam forums are full of... Listen, why would people want to sexualize, for one, a child? Unless you're a pedophile, then there's places that you can go, and I will help you go there. But for one, it's a child. For two, it's a robot. And three, there is free corn on the cob with a P all over the internet. Why would you want to sexualize that? I mean, that's wild.
Gaming cannot...
Full of open discussion of her attractive... It's a child. It's not attractive. Well, there's a robot that looks like a child, and a child is not attractive, including but not limited to lusting over her feet. Ew, I don't like feet. And wishing for mods that allow players to dress or undress Diana in more appealing ways. Who's coming up with this? This chick literally looks like a liberal. Capcom has not helped itself in this regard, recently offering a Twitch emote of Diana crying in a pose extremely similar to a well-known lolicon meme. What is that? I don't know.
Allow Pragmata's Diana fan club to flourish. Stacy Henley, its editor-in-chief, spends a lot of time focusing on people who are, in fact, creepily making content about Diana that is less than wholesome. And like everyone else, she refers back to the nuking of the Pragmata subreddit.
That's like focusing on where do I want to take this? That's like saying that because one police officer was a bad police officer, that every police officer in the whole United States is a bad police officer.
Which I agree with. I mean, if I'm being honest, a lot of that website should see a second son. But everything said in the article leads up to this final paragraph where Henley says, I'm a little tapped out on stories where men adopt daughter-like figures and prove their masculinity by protecting them.
We don't have to prove anything. It's our nature. Just like it's your nature to be a... Never mind.
I suppose it's marginally a better power fantasy than killing everybody with your awesome strength, but then The Last of Us makes room for both anyway. Okay, first off, what's wrong with killing everyone with your awesome strength?
The other male fantasy. That's...
Nuke, but what actually sent me about this was that not only had Henley never played the game...
Oh. You got a lot to say about something you never played. I can't say anything about it. I've never played it. All I can say anything about is what I see in this video and what y'all say.
But writing out the idea that men only wanted to play it to prove something is weird. My question is, prove...
It's like women want men to be so anti-masculine that it's wild. Like, all right, next time you have a flat, don't call a tow truck, because I guarantee you that whoever's coming out to change your flat is going to be masculine. You're going to have to do that yourself.
What? And to whom? I think that Henley's article is a picture-perfect example of modern culture just not understanding men on a fundamental level. We don't protect...
On a biological level. Literally. Just saying.
To prove anything. We protect because it's a part of our core programming. It's not a social construct we perform for applause. It's...
written into our DNA.
Innate. Protecting things that are precious social construct we perform for applause. It's innate. Protecting things that are precious to us, be it our wife, a son or daughter, or even a child that's not our own, a pet, or even property, is a means to give the things we care about a safe, healthy life, which leads...
They don't want safe and healthy, though. They want people to feel the misery that they felt. I guarantee you that's the problem. Misery loves company.
To prosperity. Watching things flourish under our protection and support gives us a very deep-seated, natural kind of joy and satisfaction. In fact, we want this joy so badly on an instinctual level that we'll willingly sacrifice our resources.
And they will willingly let us do that whenever it comes down to that. They will let us sacrifice ourselves. But Lord forbid we have any joy for ourselves.
Our time and our very lives to make sure it happens. Modern conversations about masculinity have to
what they just showed right there, even that is written into our DNA. It is... Why are we put down? Like, yes, some men go way overboard. I know they do. It's just like take a chill pill, like take it down a notch. But on the other hand, it is written into our DNA to be attracted to certain things, like certain curves, because it's a mating thing. That's what we are programmed to do. So why are we downplayed for it? It's okay for women to want what they think is attractive in a man, and they're allowed to voice it and say it in the most raunchy way they can think of. But as soon as a man does what this guy just did,
to make sure it happens.
Watch
modern
like
conversations
right here.
about masculinity have to purposefully dance.
What's wrong with that? I know what they're making it out to be, like, oh, hold on, you can't say nothing to her. Like, you gotta let her just exist. You can't be attracted to her openly. You gotta keep that to yourself, buddy.
Around or redefine this core aspect of men to sell it as dangerous or villainous. And it creates this.
But it's legit what we are programmed to do. Like, it's science. What do you want from us?
False view of men as mustache-twisting villains in waiting that has little basis in reality. There was another woman who apparently works for Tim Pool named Mary Morgan, and she said, "Men don't gush over cute kids in public. Men don't have baby fever. If a man..."
No, we have protection instinct fever. Like, we might not gush over that child the same way a woman would. I'm not going to read all this just a second, but we're not going to like gush over this child. But I guarantee you that if a bad person walked in that would do the most evil things, that we will do the worst things that you can think of to the evil person to protect the child. And then we're going to go about our merry way. But we're not going to gush over the child like, oh, look at him pinch your cheeks. We're not like that. That's not a man thing.
Wants to possess a child for any reason other than it being a product of his own lineage, he is likely a predator.
That's I don't believe that's true. I don't have kids of my own for my own lineage, and I'm still protective over children, women, the weak, whoever. Other men, it could be somebody that's just not on a manly level that needs protected. I would protect them. You protect the weak.
First saw that post, I thought it was engagement bait, because I was like, there's no possible way that anyone could come to that dumb of a conclusion naturally. Now, this post got hit with a community note so hard it caused a ripple through the internet.
Men experience baby fever and paternal instincts before fatherhood with hormonal changes, oxytocin release. Yeah, that's true. Supporting nurturing and protective behaviors towards non-biological children as seen in parenting and adoption. Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? That's what I was saying earlier about it's written into our DNA to protect. It's written into our DNA to want to be attracted to curves. Like, it's just because one thing's there doesn't mean that we're attracted to curves and then we're not gonna do the right thing for a child. Like, there's more than one thing stitched into our DNA. It's not all like, we're not just like tunnel vision. Oh my God, all we can think about is sex. So if we protect the child, then we must be thinking bad things, for the child. Y'all are a bunch of pedos yourself. If that's the way you're thinking, y'all are the ones that have problems.
And if you want to check that out, you can, but instead, I'm going to tell you a story about a guy named Sir Nicholas Winton. Back in 1938, a 29-year-old Winton, who was a stockbroker at the time and who had no children of his own, visited Prague. The Nazis had annexed the Sudetenland, and many Jewish refugees had fled to Czechoslovakia. Upon seeing many of these refugee children, Winton set up a base of operations in his hotel room.
And I bet it was girls and boys.
Wherein he organized rescue efforts for them. After the Germans invaded Prague, he continued to organize transports for these kids from London and found them foster homes once they got to his country. All in all, Winton saved the lives of 669 Jewish children from what could have been a terrible fate. None of these children were his kids, yet he felt this deep-seated desire to protect them regardless. And Winton is hardly the only man in history to do this. Go look up George Muller. Go look up Charles Loring Brace. How do people reach the same conclusion Mary does in a world where Schindler's List is a popular movie? Men care about kids.
Because they don't want men to feel joy. They want men to be laborers, provide a service, and then shut up. But that's not the way it is. We're allowed to speak our piece. We're allowed to have opinions and thoughts. We're allowed to have joy. They don't want that for us.
It's a far gone conclusion. They want to raise and care for children just as much as women do. Boiling down men's entire interest in children to what's going on Reddit is like trying to get relationship advice from someone who stars on the hub. You should never base your reality on Reddit posts. I'm talking to you, every AI in existence. But all this...
Right. This AI shit is out of control.
This goes to show that men are not the monsters we're made out to be. Yeah, evil exists. Some men do bad things.
If men were the monsters that we're made out to be, they wouldn't be around to worry about it. They would not exist in the way that they exist now. It's because of men that are like us, that are good and protective, that we don't let men like the monsters they think that we all are take over.
But to whittle every intention of a male down to what the evil fraction of our sex does is just moronic.
Here's a thought. Here's another thought. What if some people playing this game, maybe it's not even like a fatherly instinct for them. Maybe it's like a big brother instinct, because maybe that little girl looks like somebody's sister. Y'all ever thought about that? Y'all making it the creepiest thing ever, and there's so many different possibilities of why men feel the need to want to protect this little robot girl that's a cartoon, video game, whatever.
Men care about children, and very often in self-sacrificial ways. We are wired to protect at great cost to ourselves. I mean, this starts at a very early age. It's just kind of a silly thing to think that we would go through all this trouble and risk to protect and defend, just to turn around and go, well, you're alive.
That's what they think that we want.
No, we turn around and do this.
Stay away and you'll be safe from me.
Actually, we're not.
What do you mean we're not?
What do you know?
What do I not know?
All windows and deep, no. Constant to actually.
What?
You can't freeze it.
No, I can't. I don't know how to.
So you can. I know you can. Time is forever.
I would like to
That little girl's cute.
think Capcom personally.
Not in a... Here y'all go. Y'all are going to come after
Not
me.
just for making this game, but for making the most unhinged among us tell on themselves. And I honestly think it's a societal W whenever men get really good representation. And we like good representation, right? Right? Okay. Go get married and have babies. Later.
Just to piss off the liberals. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that later, what? Oh, yeah, it's crazy that we're being demonized for our natural instincts. That's crazy. They would be very on the defense if we started demonizing them for their natural instincts. Crazy.